Hello everyone and welcome back to Mars for another nature figure review. Today we're looking at Storm Collectibles King of Fighters 1998 Goenitz. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Storm Collectibles has been pushing out these King of Fighter figures for over a year now with no signs of stopping. We've got plenty of more figures coming this year from King of Fighters, and it looks like Storm Collectibles may be finishing up a roster after all. They're going in a new direction, and I'm super excited for the future of Storm Collectibles. So to kick off 2025, we have this badass figure to unbox, do a review on, and see what's going on. Now, if you don't know who this character is, not to spoil too much for you, he is a bad guy, he's a villain, an evil priest, and the coolest thing about this figure for me is that he is reincarnated after so many years, and he keeps his memories, which is pretty damn awesome. So let's get this figure out of the box and see what all it comes with. Storm Collectibles is giving us the complete package for this figure. We have 4 amazing head sculpts here, very detailed and expressive. We have a total of 6 pairs of hands. We have 5 here, and then we have the other pair, which is the closed fist here. For the bottom piece of his robe there, we have this showing that he can fly, a nice display option to have. We also have his book there as well. And to top it all off, we're getting 4 wind effects, which is pretty awesome for this figure, arguably making it the definitive figure to own in your collection. Now, let's get this figure out of the plastic and start off with some size comparisons. Here is Goenitz next to Ryo Sakazaki and Terry Bogard from Storm Collectibles. Next up, we have Orochi and Kyo from 2002 Unlimited Match. Ending off Storm Collectibles, we have Evil Ryu, and then for our 6-inch lines, we have, to start off things, Jada Toys and Bison. And then lastly, we have SH Figuarts Naruto from the Naruto Top 99 line, and then Marvel Legends Deadpool. Now, let's take a look at some of those head sculpts and accessories. For our first head sculpt, we just have a neutral, stern-looking expression. It looks very nice. You can see the paint application looks to be some of the best from Storm Collectibles, if I'm being honest here. A really nice piece for our first head sculpt. Let's go ahead and take a look at the others as well. Along with a stern expression, we're also getting a smirking expression as well. Again, with the paint looking really nice, some of the best work from Storm Collectibles, and a really great start for 2025 with the King of Fighter line here. Next up, we have our grinning expression, and you can see kind of behind the eye there's a little black speck. Again, to be expected with these Storm Collectible releases, but overall very impressed here as well. And you can see like the highlights in the hair. Let's see, let's get it. You can see the highlights there as well. So great quality so far. Go down. And then for our last expression, you can see he's full on feeling himself, laughing, just being a complete menace, as the character is known as. So really a great set of head sculpts for this figure. Now let's move into the pairs of hands. To kick things off, we have our closed fists. Now these cuffs also do move around as well, for those who are curious. Now let's continue down the pairs of hands here. Here we have our karate chopping hands. Here we have our styling pairs of hands. Next up is the gripping hands. Up next we have our opening hands, which I like to call them the book hands here, as you can see for yourself. And here we have the book. All it is a book with empty blank pages, so nothing too exciting going on there. And then lastly, we have his special effect hands. Now I'm not sure the exact name of the attack. Please comment below and let me know down below. But this is going to be the hand signal that he uses to summon his wind effects. Speaking of wind effects, let's go ahead and take a look at those right now. All right, so here is the complete wind effect when all put together. I'm not sure if I'm doing this the correct way or not. It doesn't look like any of this can go any other way. Maybe, no, not even like so. So I'm assuming it's gonna go like this. So here we are here. When you, oh. So this is how it looks all together. You have these 2 pieces and then this here. Down at the bottom, this is the base because it's the flattest. Now you can put something through here. I don't know if it's supposed to go like this. Oh no! Hold on. Okay. I don't know if it's supposed to go like this or what have you, but from the promotional images, it looks like you put this down first, like so, and then you slide this down. So there's your base, and then I guess you could put this here like so, and then you just put this on top. So maybe something like that. Super cool move, really nice that we got that from Storm Collectibles. But hey, let's now go ahead and bring this figure in for a closer look and see the aesthetic and articulation. Before we take a closer look, I do want to go over this bottom piece here and how you change that out. You just want to come to the figure here at the waist and just pull, and then there you go, the figure will separate. And then lastly, you come in here and then you just snap it back into place. There it goes. Oh wow, what a difference that adds to the character, just the overall look, and most importantly, the articulation. But we're not going to look at the articulation with this on. I will go ahead and tell you now that with this bottom piece, the articulation is going to be 100 times better. You're going to be able to pull off all the moves and things like that you're going to want to do. But it looks really clean. Look at that. And you get more mobility, which honestly, if Storm Collectibles is going to go this route and not have soft goods for like the robe and things like that, to have this kind of piece here to give more articulation is brilliant on their part. Now let's go ahead and get into the aesthetic real quick. Bringing this figure in for a closer look, I just want to tell you, I had no interest in this figure until Anime Pros Festival that took place, I believe, in March last year, where we saw this figure, and then it went up for pre-order, and now here it is here. The figure looks clean, digging the blue, and it's all painted as well. So there will be like little problems here and there. And along with that, you know, with this figure being painted, you may grab down here on the pants and then touch up here on the white, and it's going to go over. It's going to be blue, as you can see. It can transfer. Did it do it already? Yeah, you can kind of see it right there, actually, as I'm speaking about it. You can see there's blue right here. Just, you know, keep that in mind with the Storm Collectible figures. It's something you're going to encounter on damn near every one. But when we first saw this figure, the prototype, this was not a soft good. It was like a plastic. So for them to go soft goods, I think that was probably the appropriate change to make. And it worked out pretty well. Again, we went over the head sculpts already, but the paint application in the head sculpt is pretty good. Pretty flawless all the way around. Now for articulation, this figure probably has some of the worst neck movement out there. This figure cannot look down too much. A decent amount, nonetheless. And then looking up, it's decent, actually, as a matter of fact. Nothing too crazy then side to side. You just gotta be a little forceful with it. And then you can hear it start to crank a little bit. So, articulation could be a little bit better in the neck, but still, I like it. For the arms, T-pose, no problem. You have your bicep swivel, double jointed elbows as well. We mentioned earlier the cuffs do rotate as well as the fist. Now for the ab cut, torso cut, not a lot of movement there. You can see he can lean back some ways. Can I take this off? Okay, so you can't even take this off really, which is great. You don't need to, right? And then leaning over, you can see there, he can lean side to side, twist at the waist, and rock a little bit. Again, for the legs, you know, you're gonna have better articulation with this robe, as I mentioned. Double jointed knees. Not much of a leg swivel. For the boots, they do extend out. You've got your toe pivot as well. Minimum rocker movement, very minimum. Let's see. And you can also do a split, sort of, when he's like this. So probably when you're going and taking shots and wanting to move the legs and pose up the figure, you might want to use this bottom piece. So let's go ahead and pull this apart real quick. And then put this one back on. Aesthetically, the figure looks right. You know, I'm super happy with the aesthetic of the figure. And then going back to the legs, you can still get them out there, which is pretty good. But as far as like spreading them and doing crazy stuff, I mean, I guess you could flip it like this, and that could add to the... Alright, hold on. I guess you could do something like that, so where you can get a little bit better movement, but it's really not going to be there regardless. And if you made it this far into the video, make sure you drop a comment, hit that like button, because we are now going to get into the final thoughts for Goenitz coming from Storm Collectibles. Let's wrap it up. 2025 is going to be an exciting year for Storm Collectibles, and this release here just adds to that statement, kicking off really strong with Goenitz from King of Fighters. You know, there's so many more King of Fighter figures that come out. It's kind of unbelievable. I didn't pre-order all of them. I may pick up some, I may not. Definitely going to pick up the KOF Unlimited Match Nameless. I know he's definitely on my list to pick up. I don't know about any more King of Fighter 1999 figures just yet. There are some I'm looking at, not entirely sure I'll be reviewing them here on the channel. But when we're focusing on Goenitz here, a solid release, very suitable villain in my opinion. We do have Orochi, and then there's the other counterpart of Orochi, or his like descendant or whichever, who also released this month as well, which is another King of Fighter figures from Storm Collectibles. So yeah, King of Fighter fans are eating good. This figure here, suitable villain, decent price, nice accessories, features soft goods, multiple pairs of hands, faceplates, or head sculpts. You're just winning with this release. If you are a fan of the character, this is an obvious no-brainer if you're already collecting Storm Collectibles. If not, and bear in mind, Storm Arena is around the corner for King of Fighters. For all of you out there who enjoy the 7-inch, but maybe don't collect the 7-inch, you have that 6-inch option coming very soon from King of Fighters. So this character may be among the many characters to be featured under Storm Arena, so keep your eyes open for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I will be covering all that news as well. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all in the next Storm Collectibles Nature Review. Until then, peace.